the voices of Bomber basketball to the program, WICB's Dan Casaval. Dan, the women's team lost the heart of the two games this weekend at RIT and easily won at Nazareth. What indication is this of the team going into the conference tournament?
Well, I think for the women anyway, I think the women are looking real good going into this tournament. They got Utica, and they were able to play well against them in at least one of the games earlier this season. They were able to rout Utica by, I believe, 18 points. They did lose to Utica in their second contest, and they didn't really play well in that game, but I think going into the Empire 8 tournament, Ithaca really is looking good. They play Utica first round, and presumably they'll play Elmira. Since Elmira is the host team, they'll play RIT in that first round. Now, Ithaca and Elmira, that's going to be a tough contest. Ithaca did beat them early on in the season, but they've got that bitter taste in their mouth with that 1-point loss to Elmira just a few days ago.
You give me a good lead into the next question. Then Ithaca has obviously split their games this year with Elmira. The last one, a 1-point loss with no time remaining. Should we assume then the Bombers can win this tournament?
Well, I think it's definitely a good assumption that they can win it because they have beaten the #1 seed in the tournament. But as far as being able to win it, well, they're going to have to get good guard play and really incorporate Sue Kelly and Aaron Savage. And Erica Steele's also going to have to show up down low. If they can get those three players really hitting their shots and getting into the flow of the game early on, I think Ithaca has a very good shot at winning both games and winning the tournament and the Empire 8 title.
Dan, on Friday, IC wrapped up the three seed on the men's side going into their conference tournament, but the loss against Nazareth on Saturday, how much does that kill their momentum heading into conference tournament play?
Well, see, I think it's a little bit of a deterrent, if you will, for this first round game, but they are playing Utica, and they do have a lot of confidence against Utica. They were able to beat them when Utica was rolling, and Ithaca can light it up from outside, and if any one of those players like Burton, Leahy, or Bostic get hot early on, they can really run away with this game, and I think that Ithaca has a good shot at it. Losing to Nazareth does hurt Ithaca, but I think they will be able to bounce back because within the E8, Ithaca is very strong.
And Dan, IC's already knocked off Utica earlier on in the season. That's the Pioneers' only loss in conference play. Couple that with some good runs they've had in the tournament in the past. Is it realistic that the Bombers can pull off a big upset and win the tournament over Fisher and Utica this year?
I think it's very realistic that Ithaca can do it. Now, again, they're going to have to get good guard play and really cut down on the turnovers. Ithaca has been plagued this season by turnovers on the offensive side of the ball. And if they can cut down on that and really incorporate Bostic, maybe Stan, Scanlon, as well as the guards, and they have to play well if they're going to do it, but I think it's very possible that they will be able to beat Utica and then presumably St. John Fisher in the championship. All
right, thanks, Dan. Now taking a look at the playoff board, Empire 8 Championships on the men's side. RIT is going to take on St. John Fisher, and tip-off is at 6 o'clock p.m. And then Ithaca at Utica, tip-off is 8 for that game. And on the women's side, RIT is going to take on Elmira. IC against Utica, the Bombers, looking to win the conference tournament on the women's side as well. All right, well, stick around. When we come back, we'll head over to the East Hill for some hoops and hockey, plus a big day in motorsports. We've got your Daytona 500 highlights as well. All that and more is just around the corner on Sports Final.
You set your goal.
Now you need money to make it happen.
Get the money to pay for college in the Army National Guard.
Visit us at www.1800GoGuard.com.
More than half of the Earth's rainforests have been destroyed. The time to act is now. Go to the Arbor Day Foundation's website, arborday.org, and support rainforest rescue to protect the forests more precious than gold.
We walk to the park sometimes, my whole family. We get to feed the fish. And we play like monkeys. Dad plays the hardest, so he gets the most tired. We always say goodbye to the fish last. I think that makes them feel good.
Family, isn't it about time? From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Melanie Barkley.
When I found out I was pregnant and marriage wasn't an option, I knew the best thing for my baby would be the hardest thing for me. But she needed a mom and a dad. Because the most precious gift you can give to someone you love is a brighter future. I didn't give my baby up. I gave her more.
Welcome back. On the East Hill, it was a huge weekend for Cornell men's hockey. The Big Red closed out their home schedule with a weekend home doubleheader against Quinnipiac on Friday and rival Princeton on Saturday.
The Big Red entered the weekend with just one loss in the previous 2 weeks, a 2-1 contest against St. Lawrence. Cornell certainly had Friday's game marked on their calendar after losing to the Bobcats 5-2 back in November. The Big Red had also squeaked by the Tigers this season, winning 3-2 at Princeton.
So first on Friday night, Cornell and Quinnipiac. Cornell also looking to wrap up the third seed in the ECAC tournament with some great goaltending in the first period. Bud Fisher is going to stone Byron Bitts right there.